Hey everyone, welcome. As you are joining, we are so excited to have you here. We have a super special session for us today. Throw in on the chat, make sure that you have the chat open to everybody. Throw in who you are, where you're coming from, what your role is, where you're located. I'm coming from Fort Worth, Texas. Brandon, where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, drop in the comments below. Name, location, your role. Would love to hear from you guys and make this as interactive and fun as possible for everyone.
And make sure, don't do what I just did. Make sure you have panelists and attendees checked below. Throw your LinkedIn in so that we can all connect with each other. We have a really great session today. Hey, Ashley, nice to see you. Hey, Drew, coming in from Ottawa. Great to see you again. Let us know who you are, where you're coming from, how you found out about this. And we will get started here in a few minutes. Hey, Sylvan, nice to see you coming in from Montreal. Great
Awesome.
to have you here.
Ken.
There you go. Laredo, Texas. Nice to see another Texan on here. Great to see you. Ken coming in from Dallas.
Kieran, what's going on? Good to see you again from London.
Love this. Hey, Shannon. Do you have snow yet, Shannon, in Colorado Springs? Oh, I would love to have some snow. Brandon, do you have any
India.
snow?
I love how many people all over the world we've got coming in. This is amazing. Danny Garcia, sales manager from Dallas. What's going on, Daniel? Welcome. Trace Lambert from Athens, Ohio. So Ashley, I went to college in Athens at OU. So that's awesome.
And he's starting as a winter SDR intern with y'all. How exciting.
Very awesome.
Brownie points for you, Trace. Good job.
Yeah, spot bonus, right?
Yeah. I bet if we peer pressure Brandon enough, he'll give you a bonus. Maybe.
Yeah, spot bonus, extra credit.
Well, we're so excited to have y'all. I know that we have a great session for us today. We'll get started here in a bit. We are going to toss up a poll here. We're finding out where you guys are from. What is your current role? Tell us who you are. Are you an SDR? Are you an account exec? Managers? Got a lot of directors. Great to have you. Some C-levels. Hey, marketing peeps. Nice to see you. Okay. I'll give it a little bit longer. Well, we kind of have an even mix of attendees here. We've got a lot more directors, but everyone across the board is really showing up. This is really exciting.
Awesome. Love it.
I'll give it a few more seconds and then end the poll. I know that a few of you are still joining. Okay. Wow, this is so great to see. Well, we are so excited for all of you to be here. Obviously, our directors are coming in strong. We are so happy that you're here. I'm going to intro us, and Brandon, I'll let you kind of take it over from there. But my name is Katie Ray. I am the Community Engagement Manager over here at Sales Hacker. We are so stoked for today. We are talking everything, best practices for building a world-class sales team, and who better than Brandon from Seamless.AI. He has done it all. He has written books. He's built teams up from the ground, countless startups, you name it. I know we're going to get a lot of really great secrets today. Plus, all of you are going to get a free copy of his new book, Sales Secrets. And so, Brandon, I'll let you get started and we can get going from there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks so much for having me. Really excited to be here today. I'm Brandon Bornancin, CEO and founder of Seamless.AI. And today I believe we're going to share the 3 best practices for building a world-class sales team. We've learned a lot from building 2 8-figure companies to selling over $100 million in sales for Google and IBM, and made a lot of mistakes in the trenches. Some of the mistakes were probably the most costly that taught us what not to do and propelled us forward. And then we've also had a lot of success trying out new strategies, best practices for building a world-class sales team. And, what I'm going to share today is all about how we went from a team of 5 to a team of 80, and we're scaling it to a team of 300 by next year on our sales team. So,
Wow.
it's a lot to cover today.
Well, I would love for us to get started focusing on hiring, right? I mean, that's really the foundation for building sales teams, right? Where do we get started? What does that look like for us? What are some best practices that we could take away and implement today around that?
Yeah, yeah. And I would say, and by the way, we want to make this super interactive, engaging. So anyone in the audience, if you've got questions or thoughts, drop them in the Q&A
Yep.
and we'll make sure we cover them towards the end of the webinar, or maybe even at each secret that we share. Would love to hear from all of you and make this as valuable as possible for you. But I think today's, I want to cover 3 secrets. So number 1, the common hiring mistakes that kill your recruiting results. This one is one you do not want to miss. Number 2, how to quickly create the perfect sales onboarding and training for new hires so they ramp and produce within the first 30 to 60, 90 days guaranteed. And if you miss this secret, your whole sales team could fail, and it's one that you don't want to miss. And then number 3, the key metrics we track on a daily basis to measure success. So I think let's dive into the first secret, the common hiring mistakes that kill your recruiting results, if that works for you, Ash.
Perfect. Let's get into it.
Awesome. So to build a world-class sales team, you need to hire and recruit a world-class sales team. And I would say in order to build a world-class sales team, you have to move quickly during the recruiting and hiring process. So we hire really fast. And one of the ways that we're able to hire really insanely fast is we have actual candidates, whether it's an SDR, AE, BDM, MDM, you name it, BDR. We have all of our candidates role play during the interview process. So we give them scripts on their pitch as an SDR. Like if it's an SDR, we give them our cold calling script. If it's an AE, we actually give them our AE pitch. And then we also give them a few scripts on different objections. And we aggressively role play during the interview process. And the reason why we do this is because if they can't do a good job selling, their current product during the interview, do you really want them selling your product? So we'll have them role play in 2 sessions. The first session, we have them sell us their product. So we ask them, hey, what are you currently selling, or what were you selling at your former company? Who's the ideal customer persona? And what are the pain points and desires of your persona? And we will role play as if we are the prospect and have them try to sell us their former product. They can't do a good job of selling their current product or where they used to sell. Are they really going to be able to sell your new products and services? That's one of the biggest things. And then we also, because everyone knows their pitch at their current job or their old job, we also then give them the scripts to pitch Seamless.AI and tell them how would they pitch it, how would they role play it, you name it. And we do that for 2 reasons. One, we want to see how they do, studying and mastering the pitch. Also, it shows you grit and hard work. If a candidate shows up and they don't memorize, they don't study, they don't try to learn that script a week in advance of the interview, are they really, like, the first 30 days and the first 90 days are indicative of that rep's performance across the next 5 years. So and you can even condense that down like to the day. The first day could be indicative of the next 30 days, and then that will be indicative of the next 5 years. So if you've got a candidate that memorizes the scripts, memorizes the objections, learns everything word for word, studies the pros, the cons, the features, the benefits, the value props, the transformation and results you deliver, the social proof and credibility, that candidate is going to stand head and shoulders above other candidates who just don't even read this. Like, we've seen candidates that don't even read the script. We've seen candidates that put in a little bit of work, but don't go above and beyond. And luckily, we try to focus on hiring all the people that give it their all in preparation for the role play. And also, role play is critical because it allows you to see how coachable a rep is. So we will have you role play with us using our scripts, and we will provide feedback to you. And then we will tell you to run it again. So, one of the biggest traits of success that we've seen is a few of them is positivity, coachability, and doing whatever it takes to be successful. And for us, coachability is one of the most critical things. If you're coachable, you will learn from anyone. You will learn from your peers, from your bosses, from people in the industry, from sales experts, sales leaders. You're always just trying to learn and improve. It's this like constant state of improvement and obsession to get better every day. So when someone role plays with us, we will provide feedback and then have them run it again to see if they've improved and taken in the coaching that we gave and optimized their pitch in real time. So that's like one of my most favorite things with SDRs and AEs is to before they interview, hey, you are going to be pitching us. Here's the role play scripts. Learn, memorize, try to prep everything that you can when you come and you pitch us during the interview.
You know what I really love about this is that so often in interviews, especially as someone that's showing up to interview, it feels very one way, right? And the fact that y'all are willing to take the time and effort to invest and give feedback and suggestions and encouragement, I mean, that you don't see that every day. So I think that's a really, really positive suggestion. And Ashley threw in a really great suggestion too in here is we ask that they also leave voicemails, right? Nothing's worse than showing up and realizing
cool.
They can't talk on the phone.
Yeah, that's smart. We haven't incorporated voicemails. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's really smart. And we've got a question here from Gigi. So whenever you're saying do whatever it takes to be successful, especially in the interview process, what does that look like outside of really putting in the time and effort? Are there any examples maybe of like a super creative interview that you've had or really creative pitch?
Yeah, I think, for interviewing, it's easy for a candidate to say, I'm the smartest, I'm the best, I never missed quota, you name it. So the thing that I say with whatever it takes, like if you're trying to go for a sales job at Seamless or another high growth SaaS company, it's just being prepared, doing all of the research about the company, doing all the research about the contacts, really listening intently to what the recruiting managers and hiring managers are telling you to review and learn and prep for. If you come into the interview and you've read one of my 3 books, you know about Seamless winning LinkedIn Top 50 awards, you know about how we won Best Places to Work, if you know about our competition and why we're better, and you've used the product, like there's so many things that you could do for interviewing any company. And then you showcase that during your conversation with the hiring manager that, hey, Brandon, love everything you've done at Seamless. I've read your Sales Secrets book. The interviews with 100 experts was amazing, by the way. I think you're so much better than XYZ because of your accuracy, your coverage, you name it. And just really then memorizing or prepping the role play for us specifically, you could tell the candidates instantly who have done all of their research, prepped, and are ready to go.
That's a really great point. And Patrick has asked too, whenever you're growing at such a fast rate and you're trying to scale as a manager, how do you make sure that your day is not just 100% interviews, but you have time to coach and lead your team?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, one of the ways that we've done it, I'm just going to share how we've done it, is every day we have daily stand-ups with our entire sales team. And this will get into one of the training sections of the secrets. But every morning we have a daily stand-up with the entire sales team for 30 minutes. And we're going through training with we have 2 stand-ups, one for SDRs and one for AEs every day. And during that stand-up, we go through training, we go through successes, wins, you name it. And then the hiring manager will be in a lot of interviews. It depends on how many you want to hire. I'm trying to go from our company's 130 employees. And at the beginning of this year, we were at 25 employees. So we 4 to 5x our employee base in less than 12 months. So now I'm trying to go from 130 to 500 for, you got to kind of do one-to-many training. One-to-many training is great. And then also create pods of team leaders. Like, our VP of sales isn't going to do all the hiring. He's got team leads that will do the interviews and hiring. And then we also have a VP of inside sales that will do hiring for SDRs. And then our VP of inside sales created team leads to do interviews as well. So then our VPs are really in final stage interviews. And then we empower our people to help find people that would be successful and embody our core values on the team.
So really focusing on that delegating, which I'm sure kind of feeds into this culture of success and ownership, really. And whenever you're talking about moving really quickly, what does that look like from day one interview to hire to onboarding? And I know this could actually be a good segue into onboarding for us. What does that process look like, and what is that timeline?
Yeah, and another way to move fast, like real quick, actually, is we've hired a specific recruiter for our sales team. Because like at every SaaS organization, and probably the majority of organizations, your sales team could be the largest team at the company. I believe it should be. I believe sales is the greatest job in the world. If a company does not sell, it will not survive, especially during the pandemic or a recession, anytime, good or bad. So invest in getting a recruiter that is full-time sales hiring. And then because we went from, I don't know, five salespeople at the beginning of the year to, 70 or 80 this year, at the end of this year, we actually have a dedicated SDR hiring manager and a dedicated AE hiring manager. And that creates kind of like how you've got the SDR and AE model, super scalable. You have to create that same model for recruiting, hiring, and placing. And then that will help the sales leaders not be so bogged down. And it's unique. I find it to be one of the most important factors that has allowed us to triple our team size. And then you also want to hire in groups of SDRs and AEs. Like the more that you can bulk one to many hiring and onboarding, the better it's going to be at scale.
Gotcha. Great points. And now whenever
and then your onboarding stuff, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, whenever we look at onboarding, what things should be top of mind for us? What should we be looking for? And we've got some questions already around this, so I'll let you kind of dig into this as well.
Yeah, with onboarding. So let's just say you've started to build momentum with the recruiting aspect and the interview aspect because you're role playing, you're figuring out who are the great candidates, who are they not, make sure that they embody your core values. Now it's time, like, okay, we have to quickly create the perfect sales onboarding and training to hire new reps. So it's no secret to many that training reps to sell your products and services can be one of the hardest parts of the hiring process. And this is why it's key to hire highly coachable talent. And then from there, you need to build an internal sales training program that can be accessed on demand by your new hires at any time. The courses that we've built. So we build online courses that our sales reps take. And the course needs to teach them everything they need to know about your company, your mission, your industry, your value proposition, your competition, sales calling, emailing, social selling, sales discovery, sales pitching, sales closing. Make it a requirement for your reps to complete this training within the first few weeks of their onboarding. And the great part is if you record it and get it into an online LMS, it's on demand. They can watch it and refer back to it at any time to skill up, to rewatch, you name it. And then also what we do is we create a Google Doc playbook that highlights the pitch, that highlights the scripts for cold calling, the scripts for social selling, the scripts for emailing. I wrote 15 sales books on all of these things. And then I put them into the LMS and I created 15 sales courses, you name it. Like as a hiring leader or as a CEO, you name it, you have to embrace the pain of having to create all this content, but you have to realize if you invest the time and energy in building a world-class training and onboarding course and system and playbooks, that will save you thousands of hours over the course of a year and years to come. And that's allowed us to really hire, train, onboard, and then they ramp. Like my SDRs are producing appointments in 48 hours. My AEs are 70% to quota within the first 30 days because we invested so much time, money, and energy into the LMS, into the courses, into the playbook, into being communicative on Slack and everywhere else.
Yeah, that's a really great question. And that's a really great point. One of the questions we have is, what do you do whenever you have someone on your sales team, you've onboarded them, they've gone through the process, and they're turning out to not really be what you expected, and it's starting to kind of be that bad seed in your sales team? Do you stop it as soon as you see it, or do you give breaks? Like, what does that look like? Do they know what this type of discipline is in their onboarding? How do you communicate that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know who that was from, but thanks for posing it. So I call it coach up or coach out. So everyone is coming from different backgrounds. I used to sell for IBM and then I used to sell for Google. When I was selling for IBM at this specific division, it was Brandon. Anything bad that happened was because of you. Anything good that happened, sales, multi-million-dollar deals, was because of my bosses. So I got abused, right? Like because of this like toxic culture at that one division at the company. Now IBM's not like that everywhere, right? And I love them and they use our product, but I was just part of this bad team with bad leadership. So then when I went to sell for Google, it was the exact opposite. But guess what? My mindset was like, I'm not going to assume responsibility for anything bad. I'm going to put blame on other people. Anything good is because of me. And then my bosses were like, Brandon, get this operating culture mindset out of your system. That's not how we work here at Google and sell for Google, you name it. And then I changed. They coached me up. And then I never operated like how I operated at IBM again. So I recommend when we were building Seamless, I always reflect back at that epiphany I had, when I was getting coached by my team at Google, and now we do the same thing. It's coach up or coach out. We provide coaching like, hey, you can't be negative. You have to be positive.
Yeah.
You have to be coachable. You can't play the victim game. Hey, I'm going to support you, empower you, you name it. And if you see that they rise above that, great. But if you see that you're constantly coaching them over the course of the next 30 days and they're not making improvements and they're not trying to get better, they're not listening to the experts. My Sales Secrets book, #1 bestseller on Amazon, it's all about learn, model, and copy what the most successful people have done in the world. And if your reps aren't learning and copying and modeling the best reps or the advice that you're giving them, and they're kind of being toxic or negative or going against the grain, like I would coach them out, like I would get them out. It's either coach up and they improve and listen and learn and apply, or you got to get them out because one egg, empires and castles are not destroyed from external forces. Guess where empires and castles are destroyed? From within the damn empire. Like if you look up, this is super old school now, but like Game of Thrones is a good example of this. Game of Thrones, all the castles and the empires got destroyed by people in the damn empire and castle. The negative people that were like, oh, I'm better than everyone. I'm going to kill the king and queen, you name it. So you got to get them out of the organization because one bad apple will kill all the other apples, and you got to move on as quickly as possible. There's too many great salespeople out there who are dying to become the best that they can be.
So you're talking about there's a lot of great salespeople. Where do you find them? Where do you find the best candidates?
Oh man, everywhere, right? So luckily we've got, my platform Seamless has cell phones and emails for everyone in the world. So my recruiting team will build a big list using Seamless, using LinkedIn, you name it. And then we're extensively, just like an SDR role, my recruiters are aggressively and extensively using, calling. While they're calling, they're doing emails. While they're emailing, they're doing LinkedIn messages, you name it. I mean, I would look at what are the best traits of my top salespeople? Where are the industries that they're coming from? I call this like lookalike audiences. So in advertising in Google and Facebook, you could go and target people that look exactly like your best customers. The same goes for your employees. So if I see that my best salespeople were in SaaS companies, 50 employees to 500 employees, or maybe they're in the financial industry or manufacturing, you name it, you can figure out what are the characteristics and ICP of my top employees, and then build lookalike lists using Seamless, using LinkedIn, using whatever you can, and then go and prospect passive candidates. People that aren't on the market, job searching are the best candidates in the world. Now, that doesn't mean that people that apply aren't the best. People that like half of our amazing team are people that applied here. The other half came from passive candidates. So after you're running your outbound campaigns to prospect and book interviews with candidates, I also recommend using a multi-channel recruiting approach. So get sponsored job posts on LinkedIn, get sponsored job posts on Indeed, on Crunchbase, on AngelList. If there's any associations, like I know this is big, like SaaS and high ticket product audience, figure out where your audience lives, figure out where they would be talking, living, searching for jobs, and make sure you've got ads and job postings in all of those places. And that's what we do. We do marketing and sales recruiting all at once.
That's a really good point. Ashley brought up a good question. She says, we tend to hire people that aren't salespeople because in our industry, you can't be too pushy, too salesy, right? Do you think it's easier to coach out bad habits with positive sales experience, or do you think it's easier to coach up green people without sales experience?
This is a really good question. What we've seen is it's actually it all depends on the person. I've seen senior reps, it'd be very difficult for senior salespeople to learn new tricks, new habits, new thought processes. And that's because we've all got these limiting beliefs that our old coworkers or old companies that we worked for put on us. I'm not smart enough. I'm not fast enough. I'm not great at tech. I'm not a good copywriter, you name it. Unfortunately, a lot of negativity comes into your life and pushes on these like limiting beliefs that you can't learn new things. And as you grow in your career, if you're a person that lets these limiting beliefs hold you back, then it'll be very difficult for you to learn new habits. Now, I've hired senior people where they've come from a very enterprise, complicated sales product, and then Seamless is high transaction software sales. We teach them how to pitch us. We teach them to go from a 3-call demo to a 1-call demo because we're a high transaction software, and they learn instantly. So it's less about being green and senior and more about the person. If they've got a growth mindset, if they've got I'm inspired to improve every single day, 1 to 5%. Like I tell our team and our company, I need you to improve 1 to 5% every single day for the rest of the year. Because if you improve 300 to 500% over the year, we're all going to get 10 times better as a collective, fighting force of sales teams. So it's all about the person. And I've also seen green people. Green people definitely skill up and learn if they're coachable. So definitely look for coachability over senior or green. Because if you've got uncoachable green people, uncoachable senior people, they won't learn and try to improve.
Yeah. Really good points. And we also kind of thinking back to whenever you're looking at your onboarding and talking about how you have your morning meetings separate with your SDRs in one, your AEs in the other. What are your key reasons for splitting that? And if you were to do them together, why would you do that as well?
Yeah. So Monday and Friday, we have a collective stand-up, SDRs and AEs, where we celebrate all the wins and successes and KPIs and leaderboard and the big exciting appointments and sales that we've closed. Monday and Friday, we celebrate as a team. We share secrets as a team, and then we set the agenda for the week. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's separated. AE stand-up is at 8:30 for 30 minutes. 9 a.m., we have SDR stand-up for 30 minutes. So we do both. And I think you should do both to create a great collaborative SDR and AE culture. And then we're always hosting weekly and daily trainings. We have AEs hosting trainings. We have SDRs hosting trainings. The trainings are recorded. I'll do trainings. My VPs of sales will do trainings throughout the week. And like, you want to promote people to teach other team members on what's working great for them. So if you see a rep that's always winning new sales, always booking new appointments, try to inspire them to host a training session for 30 minutes or an hour, you name it. And that's one of the things that we do that really accelerated growth. And I also believe, like, for ramping SDRs and AEs, there's two big things that we've done to get them ramped really quickly. We provide scripts for everything. I've got a 500-page playbook of just sales calls. I've got a 300-page Google Doc for sales emails. I've got a 250-page book, and it's 7-figure social selling on Amazon. And then we customize it for us just for social selling. And then we've got every pitch scripted out. So, like, we have everything written out and documented and scripted. And then we empower our people to, hey, take these scripts, optimize them. And then also we build all of our lists for our reps in advance. Like, using Seamless, we have our team build the list for our SDRs, build the list for our AEs, you name it. So then they've got all the scripts, they've got all the lists, and then they just have to practice and customize these things for them. And then they really just, boom, skyrocket revenue results.
Really interesting. Nick asked a good question, especially kind of dovetails onto this. What is a typical growth track for SDRs?
Yeah, so for SDRs, we hire new SDRs as both inbound and outbound. I think we look at the skill set, the capabilities, the interest, inbound versus outbound, you name it. And we'll hire net new for inbound and outbound. And then from there, we have 3 levels of SDRs. SDR 1, and that's like a new SDR. SDR 2 is like a senior SDR. And then SDR 3 is a team lead that will manage 4 to 5 SDRs under them. And then from SDR team lead, you train to get certified. You take the course. It's called AE training, where we've recorded all the training for AEs. And then they will take the course to get certified. And once they're certified, they then can get interviewed to be promoted to AE. So you got to move up the levels. It's like a game. We use game theory, where you want them to go from 1 to 2 to 3 SDR, and then AE, same thing. A1, A2, A3 is an AE team lead that manages other AEs, and they get a commission on all the other commission of the AEs. And then eventually rolling out more VPs to manage the teams across the levels. We haven't gotten to the multiple VPs yet, but I've got about 4 to 5 AE team leads that manage 30 AEs. I've got 4 to 6 SDR team leads that manage 50 SDRs. And it's just constantly growing.
So you're talking about all this growth, and you're talking about all these gamification strategies to get people bought in. How are you making sure that your talent stays, though? What does that look like? Do you have SPIF programs? How are you really investing in them where they feel like this is where I'm going to stay long term? Or is that what you want?
Yeah, no, I mean, our company is because of our employees, going all out to serve our customers. And our mission is to help the world connect opportunity and positively impact 1 billion people. Like, our people are our greatest asset. So when it comes to retaining people, like, I work 7 days a week. I'm 18/7. The only thing that matters to me is my people and our company and our users and our customers. I go all in on maximizing the professional and personal success of our employees. When that's training, like, I spend tens of thousands of dollars in different training for our team, not just in sales. Like, for example, I hired the Guinness Book of World Records speed reader, and they train our entire company on how to speed read and learn new things. Mm-hmm. We invest in Tony Robbins courses. We invest in, habit development courses. We invest in health courses and training and offsites. So we're all in. Danielle's our COO. We're all in for us to positively impact 1 billion people and maximize the success of every professional globally. That starts at our employees. And you just have to like live that. If you live that belief in like my team members will call me about stuff unrelated to sales.
Mm.
Hey, I just broke up with my girlfriend and I'm destroyed. Like, what's your advice? Boom, I'm there trying to coach them up to get over that challenge. Hey, my mom got sick of COVID and she's in the hospital and it's really bad. I don't know if she's going to survive. Danielle and I are working with our team around the clock. Like, look, don't worry about work. Take off work. Go spend time with your family. Mentally decompress. Like, we're here for you. So we provide the support, the mentoring, the coaching to our team members around the clock. And it doesn't have to be about our company. And when you're relentlessly all in to maximize the success personally and professionally of your employees, like that's why we have, I don't know, 98% retention rate. And I think the 2% are underperformers, like people that weren't coachable, that were negative, they didn't believe in our core values. We try to get anyone that goes against our core values and supporting the growth of the team, the company, and our servant leadership mentality out of the company. That's really what it's all about. And our team members know that. Like, I'm not trying to push them to generate more sales so that I'm more successful. I'm trying to inspire them to get everything they want in life. And I'm going to provide the support so that spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, professionally, personally, they get everything they want. The houses, the cars, the life, the kids, the family, the vacations, the financial freedom, the time freedom, whatever it is that motivates and inspires them to go and wake up to serve our customers every day at Seamless. I try to learn and then support them and unleash their potential to go make that happen. And I think a great leader is someone that inspires you to do more than you ever thought was possible. So our goal at Seamless is I want every one of our team members, whether you're in sales or not, I want to inspire you to do and accomplish more than you ever believed was possible, because I've lived my whole life far below my potential, and now I'm trying to build a company that does $1 billion in revenue that positively impacts 1 billion people, because over the years, I figured out like, oh my gosh, my goals, my mindset, my limiting beliefs held me back so much that I got to break through the bullshit barriers, the things holding me back from accomplishing my goals and dreams. And everything that I went through, all of our team members are going through, whether it's limiting problems from family, limiting problems from the news, from culture, from elections, whatever it is, anything that's holding you back, we try to break that down and get you to where you want to go. Just as if you were pitching a customer.
Yeah.
Like when you pitch a customer, you try to figure out what is their current situation, point A, and then where do they want to go, point B, and then where's the gap? Keenan, gap selling, shout out. Like, what's the gap from point A to point B? And then how do I help them overcome that gap? We're all in on always understanding where you at point A, where do you want to go to point B, and I will do whatever it takes to get you from point A to point B.
I love that. One of the things that you said that really stuck out to me, and I think many of us probably are going to be like, I want to learn more about this, is servant leadership. And more specifically, how do you be a servant leader as you're providing like ongoing training? We've done the hiring, we've done the onboarding. Now what do we do next? And how do we continue to be a servant leader during that time?
Yeah. One of the ways that I've done it. So every day I post a motivational message in Slack, either text or video. Every day I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and probably by 5 or 5:30 a.m. I'm posting a motivational Slack to our entire company. And then from there, because I want everyone to have the right mindset and right belief patterns to accomplish our big goals and dreams. Then from there, it's just investing in the training, the courses, the books, to help them become great leaders, great performers. Like we've got, we typically now we're writing the books. We're not even reading the books. Like we're writing the books on how to develop like my new book, Whatever It Takes, the habits to transform your business, relationships, and life. It's on Amazon for pre-order January 5th. Like when the pandemic hit, I knew that everyone would be scared and they would be in this retraction mindset. And I'm like, hey, here are the core values, here are the beliefs, here are the habits that you need to leverage to be ultra successful during this time. And that helped us grow 400% during the pandemic. So it's like, just writing or buying courses or reading and then just always training. We train every day. In our daily stand-ups, we train every day. Like it's like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym once and in a year think that you're going to be in the best shape of your life, or eating healthy one day out of 365 days, you'll be out of shape, you'll be unhealthy, you name it. The same goes for training. If it's worth doing one day, it's worth doing every day. And we believe that just constant training and optimization and improvement is critical for the success of our company. And from the leaders to the SDRs to the AEs, we empower and motivate and inspire our whole team to just train each other every day. And we're hosting trainings every day, you name it.
I love that. Now, I know we've only got about 5 to 8 minutes left, so I really want us to hit on ongoing performance management. Any specific suggestions you have, any tactical, practical applications our viewers can apply today for their teams?
Yeah, I think this is the number one thing for key metrics that we track on a daily basis to maximize success. So I call it the 7-figure sales math. And I found it so important that we actually built this as a feature in Seamless for anyone to go through. So it in Seamless, in the 7-figure sales math, and it's free to use and sign up, but you literally input your annual income goal or your annual sales goal. Then you say how many leads that it takes to hit that goal. How many appointments does it take to hit that goal? How many closed won deals does it take to hit your 7-figure sales math? We break down the math and show you how much work it's going to take to achieve your goals and dreams. And then we figure out there's 265 sales days in a year. So yeah, there's 365 days in a year, but there's only 265 days in a year. We break down your annual goal into daily activity goals. So I know whatever your goal is, one salesperson may want to generate $1 million a year. Another salesperson may want to do 5 million. The activity on a daily basis is totally different, right? A 5x increase. Even if they've got the same quota, we break down what is your 7-figure sales math. Then it will tell you, hey, I've got to go after 100 leads a day. I got to make 200 calls a day. I got to send 250 emails. I got to do 50 LinkedIn emails a day to hit the 10 appointments, to hit the $3 million in the year, you name it. And then we hold them accountable. Like the 7-figure sales math calculator that's free and Seamless will calculate all of that for you and then tell you it every day, holding you accountable. So I think, just like I said, if it's worth doing in the year, it's worth doing every day. You have to track the daily activity. Daily activity, the daily habits will lead to your long-term results. And it creates this compounding interest. So calculate the daily 7-figure sales math and hold your team accountable and help them. Like, it's less about holding them accountable and micromanaging. It's more about inspiring, motivating, supporting, empowering, giving them resources to make that shit happen every day, no matter what.
So, kind of an interesting question from one of our attendees, and I'm actually kind of curious about this as well. Is there ever a time that you would take assigned leads away from an AE and give them to a manager if you see it, any I guess leads dropping through? When would you do that? Why would you do it? And what would you want it to accomplish?
So we have leads automatically round robin distributed based on the business segment, if they're SMB, mid-market, enterprise, territory, but they're all evenly distributed. Our sales managers don't have the ability to take those leads to sell themselves. Now, if we see that a lot of enterprise leads are going to a rep that may be better at SMB and mid-market leads, we may reassign those enterprise leads to people that could handle that enterprise sale. Same with the other, if we see that SMB and mid-market leads are going to an enterprise rep, but that enterprise rep isn't closing SMB and mid-market leads, we try to figure out what are the top performing traits of our reps, and then have the leads directed to them based on what we know they would be most successful with. Our culture doesn't support increase in commission and self-gain over the gain of the whole team. So our managers don't even have access to like try to claim a lead to steal from a rep. And if you are working at a company like that, I'd probably question the integrity of that organization.
Yeah, that's definitely not the culture it sounds like you've created. I know we've only got about a minute or two. So just to kind of wrap it up, if anyone was to leave today, what would you say the three most important things are? I know what mine are, but what would you say yours are?
Number one, model in three things for like building a world-class sales team.
Yes.
So number one, make sure everyone's positive, coachable, and willing to do whatever it takes. Number two would be just to build a culture of constant improvement, and be happy with the success of the sales team. Like you could be happy with the results that you're generating, but never be satisfied. Like happiness is a state, but improvement is even better than like it's a euphoric state of happiness. So have this team that's just try to instill this obsession with improvement. And then number three is as leaders, own the responsibility to maximize the success of your reps in your team. Like, don't be a victim. Don't play the victim game. Don't blame your reps. If you see the majority of your reps are not hitting quota, it's because of you. If you see the majority of your reps aren't booking appointments, it's because of you. If you see the majority of reps don't have the right connections or the right lists, it's because of you. And you like as a business owner, as a sales leader, I have to step up and always try to audit where are the gaps. How can I better serve my sales leaders, my sales SDRs, my AEs, you name it? And what can I do that I'm not doing right now to improve their success and take full responsibility for the failures and gaps of your team? And then anytime they win, give all the wins and credit to the team. Like anytime we fail, it's because of me. Anytime we win, it's because of the team. And that servant leadership, all out, whatever it takes to support the team, I think is critical. Too many leaders, I'm not saying this generalistically, but a lot of leaders that we've worked with, we've had to coach up on putting in more work, putting in more time, designing the onboarding, building the lists, building the training courses, building the Google Doc playbooks, you name it. Like it's your responsibility to ensure that your team's successful. It takes a lot of hard work and it could suck, but it's like temporary pain for long-term gain.
Yeah. Wow, I think that's so powerful. Thank you everyone for joining. We're at our end of time. This recording will be sent out within 24 hours from now. But Brandon, thank you. I think for me, one of the biggest takeaways is the power of servant leadership and creating a culture where it is obsessed about everyone's success, and especially in sales when it can be so isolating. It's amazing to hear of organizations and companies like yours where we're really focusing on being so intentional in creating that environment that is focused on a whole team effort and making sure everyone's getting where they want to be. So thank you. This has been a great webinar. We really appreciate you all, and hope to see you guys next Tuesday for our next one. Thanks everyone.
Yes, and to get the Sales Secrets book, because we're giving everyone away the copy of the Sales Secrets book. So when you join, so to get on the list for the free ebook, go to Seamless.AI, join Seamless.AI for free, and use the referral code Sales Hacker. It could be one word or two words, it doesn't matter. But when you join Seamless.ai for free, use the code Sales Hacker, and then Amazon will send you the ebook for free on me. Sales Secrets, we interviewed 100 sales experts on their top secrets to sales success, over 1,000 secrets, 650 pages. Thrilled to help you make this next year your biggest and best yet. So check that out, and excited to get you a copy of the book.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining. We'll talk soon. Thanks everyone.